kids, how are you? Today we are going to continue our grammar classes, but you will need your student book. Please stop this video and find your student book. I will wait for you. Ready, let's start. Today we are going to talk about the page 93, this one. Let's talk about the accidental inventions. This is so great because in the story, a lot of people or a lot of persons create things like an accident. Let's read together. Like many great inventions, the microwave oven was not an intentional discovery. Do you know the microwave oven? Who created, and the scientists who created, did you see who created? This is a relative pronoun. Who created, it weren't looking for a faster way to cook food. In fact, they were working on something much more serious. During World War II, the second, British scientists invented the magnetron, which is a tube that produces microwave. Magnetrons were installed in a Britain's radar system, which used the microwave to find enemies' plans before they could drop their bombs. One day in 1995, Percy Spencer, an engineer who worked for an American military contractor, was standing next to the magnet when he discovered that a candy bar in his pocket had melted. He realized that the microwaves had affected the candy bar, so he put some more food near to the magnetron tube, this time popcorn, and the rest is history. The first commercial microwave oven, which weighed around 300 kilos, was the size of a refrigerator. Did you think that? A refrigerator is amazing. And very expensive. Did you think those are things for wars, for military weapons? And right now, change that to an electronic things for house is so complicated because it made so expensive that things. It was marketed in 1954 and only practical for restaurants. It's obviously the people in their house can have a microwave like this one because the price was so high. It wasn't until 1971 that the price of microwave ovens became accessible, and nowadays most homes have one. Other great inventions or discoveries that made them included penicillins, post-it notes, potato chips, and super glue. And some inventions were created for a different thing, like this one. For example, the Coke was created like a medicine, and the people start to use it in a different way when the time passed. This is the part of accidental inventions. Let's talk about the grammar part. We are going to talk about the differences between the defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. The both of relative clauses use the same relative pronouns, We talked in the last class about the relative pronouns. But right now, we are going to talk about the uses, the differences between the uses. For example, I will show you a picture. The defining relative clauses versus the non-defining relative clauses. The characteristics of definers are blue, and the characteristics of non-defining are green. The blue one says, defining relative clauses and add essential information. This is the principal characteristic of the defining relative clauses. They add essential information. The non-defining relative clauses add additional information. It's not the same when you are talking about information and you are talking an additional information. The additional is not necessary. You add it because you think that could make more clear the situation, but it's not necessary to use it. The defining relative clauses are not set off by commas. In this case, the punctuation marks are the difference between these ones. Defining relative clause can begin with that. And this is the person that is talking. No, that is the person that is talking about. Is the beginning. In the non-defining relative clauses, you can do that. Defining relative clauses are also known as restrictive relative, and the others not strictly. You can find in your book in page 92 differences between the examples. For example, the defining relative clauses start saying people don't agree on who invented the steam engine. And the other one, using no defining relative clauses, says, my guess is Hal Harding, who runs a website about inventions. What is the important phrase in this sentence? My guess is Hal Harding. The other sentence is not necessary, but you are adding something that you think is important. And the final two examples says, ironically, the inventors of gunpowder were looking for a substance that would prolong the life. That would prolong the life. You can't quick of this sentence. You need to use it. In the second one important invention is a microprocessor, which let the computer age. This sentence is not necessary, but you could use it to add more information. Well, kids, this is the class of today. In the student book, we are going to continue. The next class is about the importance of the effective communication. We talked in the last class and in this class about the technology, and the next class, the last two classes, we are going to talk about the communication. Well, kids, goodbye. See you in the next class.